What is up, guys? JayFerGaming here. Welcome to the penultimate race of my F1 2010 career mode. We have an epic battle going on for the driver's title between myself and Mark Webber. If you've missed any of the recent races, go check them out. There's been a couple of absolute classics in there. But in terms of the final race of this series, that will be released probably on Monday, so this will be released on the Friday, and my Jules Bianchi season finale, Abu Dhabi again, will be released tomorrow on the Saturday. But in terms of my agent, Virgin have told me that I will not be kept on for next season. Potentially the world champion will not have a drive for next season. I'm not doing another season, but still, it's a bit disrespectful, and look at all these teams, they don't know who I am. But the main thing here, the driver's title, we have a 15-point lead over Mark Webber, so it's healthy with 2 rounds to go, but we all know anything can happen in F1 and that could be gone in an instant. But that means I can win the championship in this race with, I need to score, let me work this out quickly in my head, more than 10 points. So that means if I finish 4th, I win the title. But in qualifying, we were struggling. After 2 laps, we were P12, and on our 3rd lap, it is an improvement, but not anything major. We're only a 10th up, so it doesn't look like we'll be taking pole position off Webber at the moment, which is very important, because if Webber goes on to win this race, he could definitely close in by a huge margin. But where are we going to be on the grid? We improved, but only slightly. It's only P12. That's very disappointing. We just didn't have the pace in that session, and that's really disappointing, especially with Webber on pole. So imagine he takes the win, and say I finish in 5th, for example. The gap has diminished and will be pretty even going into Abu Dhabi, which I'm a little bit concerned about. So we need to try and fight our way through the field, get as many points as possible. Maybe it's a bit of damage limitation once again, but we'll of course be gunning for the win. So race day. We started on the prime tyres. That's what I've decided to go for. We'll be attacking in the latter stages of the race. 5 lights, and the Brazilian Grand Prix is where we actually get a better initial getaway than Sutil. But going up through the gears, we know we do struggle a little bit. So into turn 1, can we get any positions early on these harder tyres? Through the middle of the Force India and the Renault, they were closing the gap. That was totally going to get sandwiched. A little bit of contact, but we're going to sneak through here past Sutil, who's wiggling around like there's no tomorrow. Kubica gets back past me, and we're still in 11th. Sutil's going up the inside. He actually outbrakes me as well. That's a great move from the AI, I've got to admit that. Sutil regains 11th place, and we're back down to where we started. But we've got to keep in mind, we are on the prime tyres, so the final 4 or 5 laps is where we will be on the attack. Well, we go for move on Sutil, we think about it, but he actually defends. At times the AI can be quite smart in here. But of course, majority of the time on this game, they are pretty dumb. But settling into 12th, we're dropping back from Sutil. I think we're going to struggle in this initial stint to overtake anyone ahead of us, unless there's a mistake or anything. So first of all, Kubica's into the pits, I think with Button, so there'll be 2 stopping. So that puts us into the points at least. We can claim a bit of solace from that. So we are under pressure from Petrov as well, so we've got to watch out behind. Lap 5 now. Some more cars into the pit. Pitting on lap 4, that suggests that should be their one and only pit stop. But, well, I think we'll definitely find out later on. Lap 5, we are a little bit lonely. Petrov's keeping us company, a couple of seconds behind. But in terms of cars ahead of us, we are struggling to catch up to them. Unless they make a mistake like this. Sutil's round, thanks to the free position. Hopefully that gives us a few extra points at the end. But yeah, going off the track there, we're a bit ragged just to try and pull away from cars behind. And key moment here, Mark Webber is in the pits. So he's nearly a full pit stop ahead of us, but he's going to come out. He's not going to be too far behind me at the moment, so we're coming out in P3. If we look at the pit exit as we come through the center S, and yeah, he's not far behind, so if I'm going to pit at earliest lap 8, and it actually went to lap 9, Webber is actually on my tail and catching up to me, and Rosberg's not far behind him, so was I thinking tactically, back Webber up into Rosberg. If he loses the win, then that's an extra 7 points, which could be key. So I'm actually not intentionally backing Webber into Rosberg. I'm just not the quickest at the moment. They're on the same tyres as me, but obviously their tyres are fresher. But yeah, this has given Rosberg a great shot at the victory, and he's been on great form in the latter stages of this season. So at the end of lap 9, we actually pulled away from Webber in the final sector. And it was our time to pit now. I wasn't sure if I stopped in time for the pit line there. Yeah, we'll have to see if we get a penalty. That would just ruin everything. But as we can see, Webber moves back into the lead. We're going to have our pit stop. Can it be a quick one, guys? We've had a few slow ones recently, and it looks like the trend's continuing. 5.5 seconds delayed for no reason. We might actually come out outside the points looking at this, but we do have the option tyres, which is the main thing. We should have amazingly superior grip to the rest of the field. Are we P11? There's a few cars around us, actually. We're right in the middle of the pack. We're side by side with Hulkenberg looking at it. Can we defend this position? We could do with not wasting any time battling with Hulkenberg. And there we go. We beat him to the punch. That is P11. So if we get past these guys, that'll be P8, which it's not the greatest. It would only be 4 points, but yeah, it's damage limitation, I think, at the moment. The cars ahead of 8th place aren't too far ahead, but we'll have to see what we can do here. Let's try and dispatch a Barrichello. First of all, dive bomb up the inside. That was so brave. I thought it was going to turn in. That's probably one of my favourite moves of the season, with the commitment and how it was executed. I really enjoyed that move, I must admit. And now we're closing in on the Bacchiano Truly in the Lotus in 9th place. If you want points, sadly I'm going to take them off you. So we're closing in on the start-finish curvy bend, whatever I like to call it. Oh God. I think we touched Truly there. We nearly smashed into the back of him. I didn't think he was going in the pits there. Wow, that was so close. That could have been disastrous even. I can't even get my words out. But now, P9. Are we going to go for Kobayashi? He's going to be wide there. He's left the door open. No, I don't think we have. We made slight contact. Oh, ho, ho. I thought I was going to spin this out there. But the key thing about this, if we finish in 8th, we get 4 points. That means we lose 21 points to Webber. We have a 15-point lead, so that means the Webber would be leading by 6 points. That means if we win in Abu Dhabi, we would win the championship. So it's in our own hands in terms of Abu Dhabi, but we need to get past Kobayashi first, and we're going to go for it here. He's left the door open, and that was surprisingly easier than I expected. He might come back at us down here with the slipstream. I think he's going to. We might have to go a little bit defensive. Yes, we do. Can we keep the Sauber behind us? Because this is key for the championship. Like, I'm really impressed with myself telling you about all the maths there, working it out in my head in a matter of seconds. So it looks like we're going to finish 8th. Mark Webber has won this race, but this is key. That overtake on Kobayashi could win us the championship. So when we get to Abu Dhabi, you remember this. Coming to the line, not a fantastic race, but we're still in a championship battle. That is the main thing. It is P8. I'm not as happy as my driver right now, throwing his fists around. But we've got some points, I suppose. That's the main thing. And then we'll see the final standings here. So, 8th place. Quite far behind the Liuzzi. We didn't really challenge the top 7, even with the options in the final stint. We must have lost too much time in the opening stint on them primes, but I don't really regret that decision. So Webber wins again. He has been extremely consistent this season, a lot more consistent than me. And then the 2 Mercedes on the podium, they've been pretty good considering their car performance in the 2010 season. There's the rest of the point scorers. Nothing too exciting really. All I'm concentrating on is me versus Webber. That is it. And maybe Degrassi coming last in that race. But driver standings, there we go. 6 points is the gap. That means if I win in Abu Dhabi, I am world champion. No matter what Webber does. That was the key thing that I mentioned about Kobayashi. So, Abu Dhabi, looking forward to that. It's going to be incredible. This has worked out so well, how close this battle is. I hope it's an exciting race. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please leave a like if you have. Subscribe if you want to see the finale in Abu Dhabi and the rest of my videos. And I'll catch you then. Goodbye.